Welcome back to another Crusty Cravings by Hannah YouTube video. Tonight we are going to be making sourdough discard cheese crackers. The first time I ever made sourdough discard crackers, I failed miserably. Everyone was like, make the crackers, you'll love them. They taste so good, they use up so much discard, and you'll be addicted. You'll never buy store-bought crackers again. Guys, the way that I threw those crackers out so fast, they were like a sour, salty, nasty mess. I didn't get them thin enough on the parchment paper, and I was using everything bagel seasoning on the top. I just thought they tasted awful, and they were better in the trash. So tonight we're going to do take two, and I'm going to use a recipe I found on Instagram from Kelleysourdoughco. She has a viral sourdough cheese cracker recipe, and it's only 3 ingredients. It's butter, sourdough discard, and a preferred cheese. In this case, I only have sharp cheddar cheese, so that's what we're using. I love cheeses so much, and I hate how bad the ingredients are. If you've ever looked at the back of a Cheez Its box, you know that there's lots of seed oils and additives and preservatives. So if I can make these taste good, I'm going to be making them all the time. She says that they last forever, not forever, but they last for a long time, and they're super easy to make. So let's see if we can do it. Of our ingredients, we have our 200 grams of sourdough discard, our handful of finely grated cheese. I did not finely grate it, but I did chop it up after I grated it, and I just got as much as I wanted essentially. And then for butter, you just have to have 2 tablespoons of softened butter. And I'm going to measure with my heart on that, but it's going to be roughly 2 tablespoons. And then you combine the butter and the sourdough discard. Okay, now I'm going to combine the sourdough discard and butter with the cheddar cheese that I shredded and make sure that's combined well. I really do think that the key to a good, thin, and crisp sourdough discard cracker is to get them really, really thin. I did not get them thin enough in the middle the last time I made them, and they weren't as easy to spread because I didn't let the discard come to room temperature. But I do think it might be a tiny bit easier to spread this time, knock on wood. And I saw this other hack where, in order to get a really even cracker, you take another piece of parchment paper over the top of the other one once you get your ingredients spread out, and then you smash it down so that creates a more even base. So we're going to try that. Okay, I'm taking my mixture of butter, cheddar, and sourdough discard and just putting it on this tray. I have lined my baking sheet with parchment paper. In theory, this seemed like a much better idea in my head than it actually was. This was so bad. When I was rolling it out, it felt good. I was like, oh, this is going to be thin and even and perfect. But then as I got towards the end, I realized I made a huge mistake. The parchment paper is not non-stick, especially with discard, and I had to scrape the discard off and then re-roll it. So it was actually more work than it did good. I finally got my life figured out, and we got the crackers on the pan. I got it as thin as I could, so I'm hoping they're not as chewy as they were last time. and that they actually turn out really crispy like Cheez Its. So we'll see. I'm going to put these in the oven on 375 for 10 minutes. And then at 10 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and cut them with a pizza cutter into squares. And then I will return to the oven for another 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how crispy I want them. And we'll see how they turn out. Oops, I almost forgot to add salt. I'm going to add Himalayan sea salt to my crackers. And I'm just going to eyeball this. Don't want them to be too salty, but I want them to have some flavor. All right, now that's done, we're going to put them in the oven for 10 minutes. All my sourdough discard crackers have come out of the oven. I was taking no chances by having them be a little bit too chewy or dense, so I ended up cooking them for extra time. I think it was a total of like 35 to 40 minutes because I like my Cheez Its crispy. So this is what they look like. They're fairly thin. They're a little bit thicker than maybe I would have wanted, but they're fairly thin. I cannot tell you how good these smell. They smell so good. Oh my god. I'm so excited to try them. Okay. These would be so good with a dip. I would eat these with like a tuna. Honestly, plain tastes incredible as well. And this was the middle one. So if the middle one's not chewy, I'm happy. I'm gonna add the recipe to the caption and Kelly's handle on Instagram because it's her recipe. But I do have to give her props because this is way better than my first attempt at sourdough discard crackers, and I wonder if it has anything to do with the cheese. They're so good. You need to make them. As always, if you like this content, please go ahead and subscribe and follow me on my other channels on TikTok and Instagram. My handles are Crusty Cravings by Hannah. Find me there and let's connect and engage. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.